Usually I try to make it short. I don't know, for whatever reason this week I didn't realize that it came very, very long, and I hope that my battery here would last. I don't think it would, so we'll see. We're doing Parashat Lecha. And I try to concentrate on other aspects of the parasha besides the commandment of Lecha with very little success. I don't know, for whatever reason, I'm always stuck on this Lecha. But I always find out new things about it. And if we won't finish it today, so Bezat Hashem, we'll do it tomorrow morning. So, usually we all like to get comfortable. And we find somewhere, we're comfortable here and so on and so forth, we're comfortable there. And in a way, it's very dangerous. So somebody once told me a rule: you feeling comfortable? Move. I said, what? So yeah, you feeling comfortable? Move. And we'll see, maybe. Why? So HaKadosh Baruch Hu commands Avraham Avinu to leave his house, his place, and to go to the unknown, which to us sounds like a very threatening proposition. What do you want me to do? I'm established here in the community. People know me. Look, I'm dignified. Where do you want me to go? Imagine, like, for example, I will tell you, I think you should move to, I don't know, where should I tell you to move?
Nebraska, North Carolina.
Nebraska, that's easy. Let's think of somewhere like Kuala Lumpur. Why don't you move to Indonesia? Or why don't you move to, I don't know, Nepal? What? Why should I? I don't think there's anywhere in the world today. Okay, I'll tell you where. I think you should move to Mozambique or Zimbabwe. What?
You're gonna be the lightest person.
It used to be Rhodesia, or Zimbabwe used to be Rhodesia. I want to move there, or Uganda. What am I going to do in Uganda? Wait, I don't want to do that. But one needs to remember, only when you don't get stuck on your habits, on the routine, only then you can grow spiritually. We have a lot of problems in our generations, a lot of problems. One of the problems that we face, among many, is spiritually dead. We are in spiritual coma because we became obsessed or dependent completely on our habits. Abriyot. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to Avraham Avinu and he said to him, leave everything that you know, and go to an unknown place, and over there, when you go, in that place you're going to have the bracha. Which is it's very, very threatening and intimidating to go to a place that you don't know anything about. Let's say I would tell you to move to I don't know, Japan. You don't know, you don't speak a word of Japanese. What are you going to do there? Okay, don't be shaliach. I know you say, well, but there is something about it. Something has to be said, though, to the Lubavitcher Shluchim, that they go to this like hellholes in the world, and they establish, a Jewish corner there. I mean, there is something to say about this. I'm not a Lubavitcher. However, one needs to say what needs to be said. For whatever reason, they do that. Or to any other missionary work that people do with great motives and so on. They go to places, to this one goes to volunteer, to help Ebola people. And, I mean, there's something needs to say about those people who are willing to leave everything behind and go. For us, we don't do that. So when you have a habit, and it doesn't make a difference what habit that is. When you have a habit to smoke a cigar or to drink or anything of that sort. One understands that it's problematic, but guess what? I'm comfortable with it. I'm very comfortable with my habit. And in a way, it kind of threatens me and challenges me and intimidates me to let go of it. Ari, why don't you put the tables together so they feel comfortable? So therefore, as a result of that, I would never going to stop because I'm very much, I'm holding to my habits as a security blanket. But we say in Hebrew, or we say in whatever, that stagnant water stink. That's what it is. You stay in one place, and flowing water is fresh. You can drink suppose technically speaking, if you want to be safe, you can drink from running water, but not from something that's stagnant. It's sitting there. It's who knows what's going to be there. So immediately, as you feel comfortable, you should start to become aware that you're starting to develop a problem. Many times like this, whether it's a workplace, we're in a workplace and it's very bad for us and we don't like it. However, why don't you move? I don't know, I'm here. You make all kind of excuses. And it could be, and again, it could be in anything. It could be in your workplace, it could be in your school, it could be with your friends, it could be even with your spouse. If your relationship is not going anywhere, it's stuck, it's stagnant, it's going to die. So sometimes either revive it or move on. And you need to be very careful. You don't want to end up somewhere in your life when you're 40, 50, or whatever age, usually happen around this age, 40, 50, 60, when you look at the person one day and you say, who in the world are you? What do I have to do with this person? Some people will call it midlife crisis. I say it's completely stagnant. It died. Whatever had there, it died. You didn't supply it with proper nutrients or burning material for it to continue flourish, and it dies. And it's everything like that. You feel too comfortable. You don't. Sometimes having a little argument, even in relationship, is a good sign. Of course, not on a destructive manner. Arguing, and that gives a little fire. Or lehavdil, that's the beauty of keeping tarat hamishpacha, family purity. It keeps a certain tension. You don't get used to a certain situation, so therefore you don't get bored. You don't get bored, and you'll see what happens. But in regards to going to the unknown, we don't really know exactly where we're going. It's the unknown. We don't know where we're going, and we can make plans. We could have theories of what's going to happen. But the truth of the matter is, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you something. And this is a phenomenon for me in America. American youth does not travel. College guys don't travel. And I think ultimately it affects them. This desire to stay put or to follow a certain path without questioning, without exploring, is destructive. We don't like to take risks. Every time if it will happen that every time you leave your house and you know exactly what's going to happen, you, believe it or not, develop a complete dependency in the knowing and in the certainty of what will happen. And you ignore anything else and you lose your situational awareness and you don't pay attention. Not only that you would not pay attention to any danger that might occur next to you, you're going to miss out the whole entire life. You're going to find yourself 70 years old, again, like, what? I'm 70? How did I get here 70? You didn't pay attention. You got comfortable. You had the same routine. And especially in our generation, when we have, look at this, some of you guys are dating, right? You guys, I hope you're dating, right? Or want to date. Well, how are you going to date today? Well, you're going to go on Facebook, or you're going to go on, J-Date, or Shidduch Date, or whatever date, or, you're going to look at the ingredients, you're going to look at the model, I like this, Right? This one looks like a Ford Mustang. This one looks like a Shelby. This one looks like a pickup truck. Okay, depends what you're into. So therefore, there's never excitement in a blind date. You don't know what's gonna. It's excitement. What happens. Look at this. You know exactly what you're getting into, and then your days are flat. That's why there is a shidduch crisis. You're flat. You already know. So what is it to know? When you don't know what happens, something chemically, in the chemistry of your body is happening. Your adrenaline gland all of a sudden starts working. You get some adrenaline into your heart. Guys, I'll tell you something. This is how you fall in love, by the way. When you have this chemistry inside, it makes you aware. It's like those people who take a drug to have a better awareness of reality. That's what happened to us. But when I'm on life support, nothing happens. I never get into the process of what we call falling in love. And, you're never going to feel those butterflies in your stomach or your dry throat before that. As soon as you realize that, wow, in front of you there's this really amazing person. You already know on the resume what she likes to do, what she doesn't like to do, what she thinks, what she sees, a world view. You know how she looks like. So why bother dating? You like hiking, she likes hiking, okay. You like French cuisine, she likes French cuisine, okay. You like movies, she likes movies, okay. Everything else. You want a TV in the house? No. You want TV in the house? No. You want this? No. Okay, good. Get married. Why dating? What, you gonna do a test ride? What are you gonna do? Just get married. So you go on date, and the dates are completely flat. There's nothing to talk about. The only process of dating will be who's going to control the situation, you or me. And until you come to an agreement who is going to wear the pants in the house, well, you date. Or if you don't come to terms, you break. I don't feel anything. Of course. So the merchandise. It will be the difference between going to a Chinese restaurant, one of those, hole-in-the-wall Chinese restaurant, ghetto style, when you have the pictures of all the meals like this, you see the plate, egg roll, versus going to a fancy restaurant, could be Chinese restaurant as well, I love Chinese food, but you don't see the pictures. You see, I'm going to have Peking duck. Well, what's Peking duck? Let me see. You don't know. He's excited. Why he's going to show you. There's a little crepe like this, and he's got, wow, that's fascinating. I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. That's the difference. You want quality? Close your eyes. And you see where we're going with this, hopefully. I see that we don't have time. So, you basically, when let's say for example, let's say how her smile is, she smiles like this, she has an ugly smile, I don't date her. But here you don't know who the girl is, and all of a sudden you're sitting in front of her and you say something funny and she laughs, and you just fall in love with that moment, with her smile, and you're missing that out. You're missing that out. And ultimately it would affect your relationship as well. And we're trying to be very practical, but in a very unpractical way. Because we were demanded all the time from our society. Be practical, be practical, be practical. Don't dream, don't dream, don't dream, don't dream, don't dream. And we don't really have to worry about it so much, because dreams are never going to be fulfilled unless you're actually going to do something about it. It's good to have dreams. You have to have dreams. And dreams need to be followed. If you have a dream, follow. And if you say, I had a real dream. What does it mean, a real dream? A real dream is a dream that is quite outrooted and disconnected from reality, with very minimum scientific equations to it. It does not have to make sense. It's a real dream. My real dream is to be a farmer in Montana and to make cheese. It's my real dream. Common sense tells me not to, but that's my real dream. That's my dream. Yes, Montana? Okay, Wyoming. I know, I have many dreams. And that's the beauty. And when there's more unknown that there is known, and you have and the ladder that you climbing on the way to your dream, it doesn't always really exist, and it's not something that you can grasp and you can touch. It's not something that exists since it's a dream. It skips all these real problems that there are in life, and then you can actually do it. Why? Because what happens is usually you wake up from your daydream or from your regular dream, and all of a sudden you come to a good thought, and it says, "Oh man, that will be a good idea. I want to open a coffee shop. I want to open a French-style coffee shop in downtown Forest Hills." Right away, as you should know, because it's a business idea, right away you're going to have it's almost like an instinct. You're going to have a change of heart almost, or your thought process is going to take a little detour, and you're going to become very practical. You say, "Well, how can I do this? I really cannot do this." And then you start a self-persuasion procedure that it is very simple. The only purpose of this self-persuasion is why you cannot do or live your dream. Right? If I would follow this thing today, I would not be sitting here and falling, and teaching and learning together, because everybody told me I should not do it. It didn't make sense. It didn't make financial sense. It didn't make sense not to make a yeshiva where guys don't wear hats. Well, they do when they go horse riding in Arizona, but usually we'll go hiking, Or it didn't make sense financially. But that's a dream, and that's what you do. But that usually happens, right? Why? Because we are very stubborn, and we always want to know what's behind the corner. What's going to be tomorrow? We always want to know. We want to know, we want to know, we want to know. But the only reason that we want to know is not because we care. The only reason what we want to know is because we don't want to do what we're supposed to be doing, or what we really want to do. So therefore, this certainty of knowing everything, this for sureness that we all engage with, really becomes such a central point of our life that we operate like a programmed machine rather than the human being. The beauty of a human being that is spontaneous. It can do many things. It's not predictable. That's the beauty of the human being. But when you're very programmed, and that's what I'm saying to you, I can practically tell you what's going to be one of the steps that you're going to take in your life between now and until you die, assuming you'll die of old age. You're going to go to school, you're going to go to graduate school, of course you're going to take a job, or you're going to go to school not because of, not taking something that you like, but something that would make financial sense to you, or something that will give you kavod, or a sense of appreciation from the surrounding that doesn't care about you anyway. And you're going to immediately after take your internship, look for a job, get married. 12 months, 13, 14 months after that, you're going to have a kid. If it's a boy, you're going to name them after your father. If it's a girl, you're going to name them like this. Then you're going to have another kid. Then you're going to have a fight. Along the line, you're going to do this. You're going to buy a house. You're going to have some debts. You're going to complain about yeshiva. On and on and on and on until you're going to smell like mothballs. What kind of a life is this? Why don't you take a break? Why don't you go travel? Go travel. Go see places. You'll go see how difficult it is to live a life of a Jew, or what, not how difficult, I shouldn't use this term, it's a negative term and I should not use that. How good you have it here as a Jew. Go travel to Idaho. Go to, New Mexico. Go to all these places. You want to have a steak, you go right here around the corner. How many steaks do you want? Over there, Gesundheit, you have to order it coming from New York. Go travel, go experiment, go see who you are. Examine who you are. Know what are your boundaries. You don't want to know who you are. So how are you ever going to achieve anything not knowing who you are? How are you going to do that? It's crazy. You want to go to school right away. For what? Have you seen Rome yet? Have you seen the Rockies? Have you seen the Grand Canyon? Well, some of you did. Only because it was a pain in the neck for you to go. I mean, not that I would go now to Paris, but it would be nice to sit down, have a little coffee, watching the people going by, just drinking a cup of coffee. Nothing wrong with that. Elon, come here, Motek. Talk to him, it's fine. Right? Did you ever go to Alaska? You ever see Glacier Park? Do you ever see an Amazon forest? Even if you travel, you will travel within your comfort zone of like going to Aruba, going to a resort, why are you going at all? Go camping, go rough it up a little bit. Have some fun. It's okay to get dirty. Nothing will happen to you. You wash it off. Go in a car coast to coast. I mean, America is a fantastic place. Go in New York and your trip in San Francisco. Examine. Meet people along the line. Make friends. Go to different communities. See how Jews live in Nebraska. There are Jews in Nebraska. Go to Kansas. Buy yourself a Stetson. Mayesh. Not bad. See how people, the Jewish community in Houston, El Paso. Go to Seattle. Travel. Where are you rushing? It's not that you're rushing anywhere. You're afraid. You're afraid of the unknown. But what caused humanity to flourish is the desire of very few and selective men to sail into the unknown, to explore, to find out, to go, to move. That made them tough. That made them smart. They have to be innovative. They have to improvise. Why do you think Jews are like this? They have to wander from one place to another. And when you fall in love with your place, you die. So, I'm going to move now. I have a house here. I'll sell the house. Then I'll move. By the time you sell the house, they'll take the house from you. They're going to, It's not going to happen. Hello, Avram. And Avraham Avinu was the first one. He has a dream, and he's connected to his thought, and he answers this bat call, this heavenly voice. They come inside, and he says to him, Lech, Lecha, go to the unknown, go to a promise of a better place, go to a promise that is not proven. Hello, Moshe, what did you get at? You're like Eliyahu Navi. But which is very difficult. It's very difficult to do. However, you could be a very optimistic person, and that's something that unfortunately was taken away from all of us. Become optimistic. We're not optimistic anymore. We always see black. We always see the dark. And an optimist, many times their optimism does not rely necessarily on a reality. They rely on their optimism, on a dream, I have a dream, on sailing, finding a new place, a better place, escaping the old tyranny back where and who knows where, and coming to a new place. That's why America is a place to come to. There's a lot of people come because America represents hope. It's hard. That's why America is great. Because of the people. But once you kill that ambition, it dies. It becomes stale right away. And you People go, oh, I don't want to go here. If you want to open the internet, you want to know we were talking about Mozambique. You want to know what's the weather in Mozambique? I'll tell you. You want to know what's the weather in here? I'll tell you. How much rain? Anywhere in the world you can tell. But have you ever did you ever go into a car, into a trip, and then simply got lost? Just drive. Nothing to worry about. Anywhere in the United States, within 100 miles, there is somewhat of a road that would lead you somewhere. Go into the car, fill the car up, and simply get lost one time. Just simply get lost. Get off the highway that represents your security. Go into the side roads. That's when you're going to find the beauty. Did you ever get lost? Are you afraid to get lost? Why are you afraid to get lost? You'll find great things. Exploring. That's what we did as kids. We went exploring. Did you ever go or did you ever have a dream? I, as a kid, had a dream to go to London and to walk in the rain in the streets of London. I think it's because I heard one time a song that was very beautiful. Something like, I don't know, the streets of London. It's a beautiful song. I said, it's a beautiful song. It's probably a great idea. You know what? Since then, I love walking in the rain. Doesn't bother me. There is an experience also. That's the beauty of it. Because the rainy day is also a beautiful day. A rainy day is also a beautiful day. And we don't allow our kids to explore. We don't allow our kids to dream. And the worst thing you can do is to be connected to your telephones, that anywhere you go, you're still connected to home. You work from your vacation, you answer your phones. No! And that's a problem. It's difficult. It's hard. And look, the first time that Kadosh Baruch Hu spoke to the quote unquote the first Jew, Kadosh Baruch Hu says to him, listen, forget about it. Forget about it. You go. And that's what I will concentrate. I don't have time. Maybe we'll continue, but let me see what we can do with this. And he said, Labriot. He says, Lech Lecha, Lech el atzmecha, go to yourself. Lech Lecha, go to you. What does it mean, go to you? Go to who you really are. Do you really know who you are? You tell me, of course I do. I said, yeah? Based on what? When was the last time you actually got to know yourself? Did you ever sit down and talk to yourself? I mean, not don't talk to yourself. You don't think about yourself. Truthfully, stop BSing yourself, telling yourself the truth. Did you ever really admit it to what you really like? Maybe you really like to see ballet. I don't like ballets. It's beautiful. I don't like to see it. But if you like to, why would you admit it? What's wrong with that? Maybe you like to do pottery. However, that's not a manly thing to do. Really? Did you ever get to know yourself? Never. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, listen, you want to be a Jew? You want to have it? Good. First of all, forget about everything else you do. Forget about everything. Go get to know yourself. Lech, go, lecha. Go to yourself. Why are you asking me? Go to the mirror, ask the question, who you really are. Why you need to go to a psychologist? Before you go to a psychologist, tell you what your problems, who you are, and so on and so forth, why don't you ask yourself? Interview yourself. See what you like, see what you don't like. You don't even dare to ask yourself what you like or don't like. You don't dare, because God forbid you'll find out that what you're doing is not what you really like to do, or what you want to do, or what you dreamt of doing. You waste your life. And it says, and where are you really going to go? Lech Lecha, to the part inside of you that really came from me. Each and every one of us has a divine spark in him. Get in touch with me that dwells inside of you. That's what Kadosh Baruch Hu is telling me. In other words, telling him, even though he's Abraham, he didn't speak to me yet. When he says, go to yourself inside of you, go to your neshama. See what your neshama wants. Do you know what your neshama wants? Did you ever address the needs of your neshama? And he says, Lech Lecha, and there's a reason. We're going to say it a few times on this in here. Lech Lecha, from where? מארצך, מולדתך ומבית אביך. There are three things, three times it's going to tell us this. Each time we're going to speak about something else, because there's a lot to learn from that. And just to tell you, the first one we're going to see, what does it mean, Artsecha, what is Moladetcha, what is it Beit Avicha, in terms of like you yourself. Then there's another parallel to that. There is the parallel to what Rabbi Yaakov ben Ma'alel says. Da me'ayin bata ule'ayin ata olech. One needs to pay attention to that as well. And at the end, with your permission, of course, we'll talk about three different things or hints that were mentioned in last week's parasha that indicate an internal journey as well that correspond with the commandment of Lech Lecha, go to Artzecha, Moladetcha, Beit Avicha. You didn't think about it. So listen. Again, hopefully we'll do it.
When Noach says tze?
Versus?
When Hashem says to Noach tze?
No. I said no. No. You want to know when? Okay, I'll tell you what quickly. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Noach, build a teva, when Shem and Yefet covered Noach, nakedness, and Migdal Bavel. How's that? Good one, huh? Of course you got to think about it. So Artzecha. What is Artzecha? What we call Am Haaretz. Artzecha is every person has certain qualities inside of him that comes from his own inherited character. For example, there are people, chemicals in the brains, whatever you want to call this, that are, naturally happy. And there's some people who are naturally mellow. They're like on the dark side of the moon. They're a little and so therefore, get out of what you were born with. Forget about this. Forget about what you came with, what you were born with. Discovered in yourself. Moladetcha. Your moledet is your nationality, where you were born. So it says, the manners and the habits that every person picks from the influence of the place that is at, whether it's your city, whether it's your state, whether it's your country, or basically, in other words, the society in which you were born and was raised by. I can tell you right away if you say something, if I give you something and you say to me, thank you, I can tell right away where you came from. Not from this specific place. However, I can tell you from which, let's say, part of the world you came. Probably you came from a place that has some Muslim habits to it. You say, oh, thank you very much. Right? And so on and so forth. Nature, nurture. Forget about all nature and nurture. Forget about it. Mibet avicha. Mibet avicha. From the house of your father. Anything that your parents, your immediate family, had influence on you. That affected your behavior. Your educators. Your teachers. Which is stronger than the place that you're in. The example that those people, the role models in your life, had served. Forget about this, what they told you. And you'll see, Baruch Hashem, that, for example, in schools, many people are very of the educators are extreme liberals. And yet, some kids come out of the schools and they become just the opposite, extreme Republicans or conservatives or, whatever. Forget about those things. Forget about your personality, about your behavior, and the environment in which you came from. Forget about it. Because they're all interacting with each other all the time. One affects the other. The way you think, that you were raised, family, affects your behavior, which is your society, which affects your environment, the place that you're at. Forget about all those things. The person, behavior, environment. And Avraham Avinu does that. Avraham Avinu goes against the stream and from his house, and he spreads out the belief in one God in the world. Where did he do that? In a world of idol worshippers. Avraham Avinu does not care. Why is it important to us? To the point that Avraham Avinu is called by the people of his generation Avraham HaIvri. Right? Why? Al Shem Shekol Ha'olam Me'ever Echad V'hu Me'ever Hasheni. Why it was called Ivri? Because the whole world is in one side, he's on the other side. Guess what? Avraham Avinu was not cool. Avraham Avinu did not care about being in. Oh, he's in. That's the new fad, to do this. That's why we do that. He didn't care. Ivri, he didn't care to be on the other side. He didn't have the need to comply with the approval of the society for something that he knew that is 100% correct and right. And do we have this in us? Yes, we do. Do we execute it? No, we don't. Why? Because we don't want to change the status quo of right now, I am feeling comfortable. Noach, to feel comfortable, was left with Parashat. Now it's Avraham Avinu. Now we're in the Parashat Lech Lecha. Don't worry about what society will tell you. And if you want to dress in a certain way, that's what you did. And if you have opinion about this kind of marriage or that kind of marriage, you speak your mind out. There's no such thing as politically correct. Politically correct is a muzzle on your mouth. Of course, not words of hatred. Say the truth. Avraham Avinu did not have a problem to also called to be the outsider or the flag waver. He didn't care. You know what they say? They say the only thing that goes with the stream, with the flow, is dead fish. A live fish goes against the stream, against the flow. The whole world does one thing. We have to do the opposite. We have to light the world with the light of Torah and mitzvah, and to exterminate any kind of idolatry and idol worshipping from this world. Even if it's a modern type of idol worshipping. We have to. And it will start, Rabbatai, right away. It will start immediately from what we said previously. It will start with the way you dress and with the way you look. And you can't do that if you are embarrassed of the fact that you are a Jew. A Jew needs to look like a Jew. He needs to dress like a Jew and act like one. Even if you were born in Puerto Rico, you don't need to look like a Puerto Rican. Or if you're born in Morocco, you don't need to look like a Moroccan. You need to look like a Jew. And you wear a kippah on your head and you get a good haircut, and you don't wear mohawk or faux hawk or whatever hawk. You look like a Jew. You wear tzitzit, talit katan. And I'll tell you more than that. We Sfaradim wear the talit katan out. I mean in. We're supposed to wear it out, but we wear it in. Ashkenazim wear the strings out. Maybe we should wear it out. Maybe I should commend all of you to wear it out. You can say, are you afraid? Again, you're afraid you're going to get beaten up? Learn martial arts. You want to do Jewish martial arts? Do Krav Maga. I don't know what to tell you. What do you want me to tell you? You can't let your fear control you or dictate to you what you need to do. You got to be tough. Don't tell me you don't have it. It's in our genes. It's in our DNA. Why? Because our forefather, Avraham Avinu, had it. So we all have it. I mean, I'm sure you all learn biology, 1 and 2 and 15. Right? What are you taking over there, Moshe? 2. Biology 2 with a lab. Now you should know right now how genes work. If you can trace all the Jewish people to one person and all the qualities to one person, so all the qualities of the one person are all inside of us. Okay, wake it up. Wake those qualities up. It's very simple. We are all nations of warriors. And we should not be afraid. I'm going to finish now. We're going to do Arvit. Hold on, I'm not done yet. We're going to do Arvit. We're going to eat Chulent. And while you eat, I'll talk. Do section number 2. So do part 1, part 2. Which is a good place to stop. And this is also the same thing as the world. And you see it today so much better. That Sweden today announced that they recognize Palestine. Take it, and you know what you can do with your declaration. Go make IKEA furniture out of it. I don't care. The whole world is on one side, we are on the other side. There's nothing you can do about it. That's how it is from the beginning of time. You got a problem, speak to Avraham Avinu. Go tell him you have a problem with this. That's how it is. And you're going to try to be like the rest of the nations, you're going to get spitted and thrown out. They're not going to let you. Why? That's how it is. There is a price to that. You want to do it, you have to dismantle your identity completely, who you are and what you're about. That you can't do. You need to be proud. And you need to stop being afraid and speak up. And that's it. And if you have a crazy professor in school, speak up your mind. Tell him he's wrong. Tell him you came here to get education, not to get doctrinated. Speak up your mind. If you need help, I'll help you. With great joy, I'll help you. And why is that? Not to feel superior. Our separation is not to feel superior, because our job is to spread the word of God out, to spread chokhmah, wisdom, to teach the nations the ways of Hashem. This is not for us to feel superior. So remember that. Let's stop here, and then we go into David Rabbi. Rabbi Hananiah ben